Tales from the Queen City. And that's going on at, I believe, is it 4 o'clock?
4 to 6, and it's free admission.
All right, that's great. Some afternoon fun down at the Shaskeen. Always great to have Rob Azevedo in here from Granite State of Mind. Keep it right here. You got Matt Connerton Unleashed coming up at 4 p.m. What is it, Wednesday here? Followed by Granite State of Mind with Rob Azevedo. And then Off the Mark Sports with our friend Kyle Heavey. So a lot going on here at WMNH. Have a wonderful Wednesday, Matt, Katie, and all of you out there. Peace. Have a great day.
This hour on WMNH is sponsored by CGI Business Solutions, located at 5 Dartmouth Drive in Auburn. They serve all your business needs, including employee benefits planning, corporate design and business administration, investments and wealth management, and customized business insurance solutions. Their phone number is 866-841-4600 or on the web at cgibusinesssolutions.com.
Bring your kitchen to life with Queen City Cabinetry, located at 87 Elm Street in the historic Sunbeam Mall in Manchester. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They can be reached at 603-222-2007 or on the web at queencitycabinetrynh.com. Come see the possibilities. Queen City Cabinetry, another proud sponsor of WMNH.
Clemento's Pizzeria, family friendly, awesome for a date night. Clemento's Pizzeria.
For delivery, call 603-782-8450.
Clemento's Pizzeria, the best pizza in town.
1875 South Willow Street in Manchester, New Hampshire.
Best cocktails around.
Come in as friends and leave as family.
Come on down to the Hop Knot at 1000 Elm Street, Manchester's premier craft beer and gourmet pretzel bar. Tell us more, Trudy.
We make our dough fresh every day. We make a variety of styles of pretzels and serve craft beer, cocktails, and a few bottles of wine. We do the traditional pretzel, and we have multiple flavors for that. We also do stuffed pretzels, pretzel sandwiches, 3 dessert pretzels, and pretzel knots.
The Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan Plaza at 1000 Elm Street.
You are listening to WMNH-LP, Manchester's radio, broadcasting at 95.3 megahertz frequency modulation from the top of 1000 Elm Street. Our studios are located at 1045 Elm Street and licensed to Manchester Public Television Service in Manchester, New Hampshire, USA. Contact us by email at WMNH953@gmail.com or through our website at WMNHradio.org.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Here we go. It's that time again. Matt Connerton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. And it is a glorious day out. It's amazing. Also on Comcast 97 if you're in Manchester. And hello to all of our online listeners across the nation and around the globe. Today is Wednesday, February 8, 2023. Jenny is here as well at the news desk.
Where's my music?
Oh, I thought we'd save it for later.
Really?
Yes.
No, suddenly you're springing this on me. Oh, I'm going to save that for later.
We're going to save it for later.
I feel shorted.
I know.
I feel it, and I am wearing my crown.
You're
so you know better than to not address me appropriately.
You're gonna get your music. I promise.
Don't like you no more. Nope. Don't like you no more.
We have a couple of great guests we're going to be introducing in just a moment, and we have a busy show today too because coming up in the second hour we have members of Infinity Vein joining us. We talked to them a few months ago, but they've got a brand new single called Angel, and today is the world radio premiere of their new single. So that's going to be coming up in the second hour. So we look forward to that. But right now, joining us on the couch, so we have making her return to the program, Jessica Margison is here. Hello.
Hello.
And Brandon LeMay also joins us. Hello.
Howdy. Thanks for having me on.
This is Brandon's first time on the show. And of course, you are both what housing advocates, tenants' rights advocates. How do you want to? I don't know what do you consider yourselves in shorthand?
I mean, whatever you think is polite, really. I like to call myself a tenant organizer. My official title is housing justice organizer, but that sounds a little pretentious.
I like it though, housing justice organizer.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. And Jessica, I mean, you work with a specific organization in the area.
I work right downstairs from you guys at Granite State Organizing Project. I'm a housing organizer or a tenant organizer and policy advocate. Working with tenants one-on-one does help the tenant there, but I try and find ways that I can help a larger amount of tenants in one sweep if I'm able to. Working one-on-one with tenants shows me the policies that are not working correctly, what needs to be changed, and what problems currently exist.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll always stay working in that field to be able to know what I need to do on each side.
I think when you and I first met, it was in this building, actually.
Yep.
Because we're in the same building here. And we already have quite a few people in the Facebook live chat. Hello, everybody. And if you would like to join the discussion today, 603-250-6007 is the number, 603-250-6007. You can also text me at 617-917-4476. I'm on social media at Matt Connerton, and you can email me, Matt, at mattconnerton.com. And of course, you can interact and opine in the Facebook live chat. But the best thing to do so that we can hear and enjoy your dulcet tones is give us a call at 603-250-6007. But if you do have something germane to the subject, try to get in early. Because we only have these fine folks for a limited time today. But when we talked last time, we talked about a lot of stuff, Jessica. But have you been working? Have you and Brandon? Have you been working directly on things together, or how do the two of you know each other? Obviously, you're kind of working in the same zone.
Well, when COVID really started, when we were all locked down and we started having more and more meetings online.
Yeah.
And we were pushing for the Affordable Housing Task Force in Manchester is when I came across Manchester Housing Alliance, and we just organically started working together. It takes a lot of pieces to put a puzzle together. So when you're speaking about homelessness, there's a lot of different layers to that.
Mm-hmm.
So where some people may not see as that involved as Brandon is, I see the factors that lead to it. I see the ways to get out of it. And I see ways to try and prevent that, or things we need in the city or state to try and help that not be a burden for others, or to stay away from that happening. You want to explain yours?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So naturally, just by working on these housing issues together, Manchester and New Hampshire are very small places if you really think about it. So, you can't really work in the housing, justice movement without bumping into each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to say that Jessica and we like to play off each other's strengths. So, I tend to be a bit more of the agitation type. I'm the person that says, that ain't right. I'm the one that's trying to get people a bit riled up and justifiably outraged on, the inhumanities we're seeing around the housing market here. And then Jessica's the one that can talk to you reasonably and say like, hey, listen, X% of tenants are facing this.
When you say inhumanities, can you give me some examples of what you mean?
Yeah, I tend to find the conditions that a lot of tenants, and Jessica will definitely back me up on this, the conditions that a lot of tenants are facing right now are just undignified. They're inhumane. We're seeing the worst conditions inside of apartments right now, and renters don't have a lot of choices. So they're subjected to either living in infested places or, taking a 100% rent increase right on the chin. And I feel like that really takes away a lot of the dignity that these tenants have.
When Jessica, to your point, Brandon, when Jessica was here before, we talked a lot about how because of the inflation of rents, which is unbelievable, and it happened so quickly that if you've got things wrong, if you're renting from someone and you've got things wrong in your apartment, you almost just don't even want to say anything because the inevitable retaliation that's coming when it's time to renew your lease. If you annoy your landlord, they've what do we have in New Hampshire? I think we've got like a 1% vacancy rate in this state last night. Not even
0.3 in Manchester, 0.4 in our county of Hillsborough.
Yeah.
So we're not even at a point, and that's been like that since before COVID started. At the very beginning, I've been explaining how it was less than 0.5. And it's really shrunk. The biggest, scariest thing to me is we were working on a project before all these renovation evictions started happening where it was affordable shouldn't mean unsafe.
Mhm.
A lot of our apartments that were naturally occurring affordable housing, our NOAA stock, were dilapidated. And these were the buildings that the investors were looking for, came in and swooped up.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a large portion of our naturally occurring affordable housing stock that was decimated. So any numbers that we're actually looking at of what we have available to us, the numbers are askew because we're looking at what we think we have, but we're failing to realize that a portion of that was taken away. So what we're now experiencing is the inability to get those moved from the hotel into actual affordable housing. I have tenants trying multiple different ways with roommates. I wish somebody would get a business plan going with roommates. Anyone out there that wants to make some money, get a business plan going where you match up people with their needs and their wants for a roommate, because that's something needed right now because our boarding houses can't even pick up the slack. The cost of boarding rooms has gone through the roof. They make everybody, not all of them, but I had one in today who every 88 days they have them leave for 48 hours or change rooms because that is a way to prevent them from getting housing rights. So at 90 days,
wow, interesting.
Are you kidding?
At 90 days in a boarding room, you hit tenancy laws. You get tenancy rights at 90 days.
Huh.
So to avoid that happening and tenants having any type of rights, they will have them leave for 48 hours or change rooms. A way to go around that.
They can legally do that?
They can ask you to, and if you comply, then you're complying. I tell everybody to try and say no. It's not a convenient time for me to leave. And let's see what happens afterwards.
What's the average cost to rent a room in a boarding house these days in Manchester?
$175 is the cheapest I heard.
A week?
Yeah. And I think that was at the Abbey House. I think they said it's $150 or $175 a week. $175 is, I think, what it is. And it's only like $560 is the security deposit to get in there. But that's the cheapest. I'm hearing anywhere up to $325 a week. And that's when you have a room where you share a bathroom, a kitchen, and living quarters.
For context, I rent a townhouse with 2 other roommates, and I pay less a month than that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just it's a raw deal.
Right.
So there's no more cheaper alternatives. So
yeah,
when you're looking at, say one client I have, family of 3, they have a $3,000 income, great family. Their last residence, they were there for 24 years. The poor gentleman had a stroke the day he had to leave their apartment because they were there half a lifetime.
Yeah.
Now they have nowhere to go. The benefits have been exhausted. They're great tenants. They'd never caused a problem, but they can't income qualify anywhere because what it means to them is finding $1,000 a month rent on at least a large enough 1 bedroom that would allow 3 people in it and landlord to allow that, or a 2-bedroom. They don't exist.
Right.
So people in that position are going to be staying in that position until some type of supportive housing model is created, or more affordable housing gets on the market. And we have 18 to 24 months until the housing that's all been talked about being built is built.
Yeah.
The only good thing is some of the places like Lincoln Ave, Lincoln Capitol over here with the old police building, the old police station, the redo they're doing on that, it's going to be great. Over 200 affordable units. They're utilizing the Invest New Hampshire money. To get that money, you have to build it within 18 months.
Oh, really?
So that's really cool about that, because that means quicker, but that's still 18 months. How do you get by for 18 months?
Yeah. It's such a problem, obviously not just here, but nationally. There's a housing crisis, and we've been hearing for years, for example, in I think it's San Francisco, it's like $3,000 for a tiny studio apartment. It's just incredible.
Yeah.
We hear about New York City. Of course, New York City is notoriously expensive to begin with, but I always wonder about this, and I feel like you could apply this to so many different issues. But when we talk about housing, and of course a lack of housing leads to, as part of the driver of homelessness in many instances. Do either of you know, are there places in the United States, because it is a national problem? I suspect New Hampshire is one of the more one of the places with a more severe issue with the vacancy rate being that low. I didn't realize it was that low. But are there places in the United States where that you can look at and say, okay, here's a place that has kind of got this figured out, or they've come up with a solution? Maybe we should try to model that. Because my theory of solving problems is find somebody who's figured this out and then do what they do. Is there anywhere in the country, and maybe there is nowhere that's really kind of figured it out, because again, it's such a national problem, but
I see bits and pieces everywhere. There was one I recently sent to my deputy director to say, I want to get in touch with these people and see what they're doing and see if that's something we could model here.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, I can't remember who they were, but I know I sent that email.
Yeah.
But it's never the full exact model. You'll hear about something, but it's bits and pieces.
Yeah.
So if we could take bits and pieces from all over and create something for us.
Yeah.
A lot of what gets in our way is the live free or die. Our motto gets in our way of affordable housing, because it's the landlord's right to charge what they want, do what they want. We don't want them to accept vouchers. We're not going to make them have to accept vouchers because they can live free or die here. So ironically, our great motto also hurts us in a way because of the freedom of the state. I got a topic that.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, I can just say, yeah, there's no one place I could look at and say, like, let's do that model right there.
Yeah.
And I think this is because it's such a systemic and societal issue. And if you really look at it, I don't think that America, and this isn't my opinion, a lot of other people smarter than me came up with this opinion here, but we never really recovered from the 2008 recession. And if you look at the housing that we built from 2008 to, like, say, 2020, it really did not pace with population.
Yeah, I've read that.
Yeah.
A lot of people point that out as part of the problem. Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
Another big issue, too, is what kind of housing that we're actually allowed to build. So, for instance, I always say, like, the biggest need for housing right now is probably workforce housing and low-income housing. So think of people who are actively homeless right now, people who are retired, or a huge portion of both are people who are disabled or people with disabilities. So basically, what happens, though, is that we build luxury, quote unquote, luxury housing first. We never say, oh, we really need workforce housing. Let's build that housing right now. The prevailing ideology is that, well, if we build upscale housing first, then lower scale housing, people will move out of that into those luxury condos. And in my personal experience and what Jessica alluded to, that's not what happens.
Yeah.
An investment landlord comes in, buys that formerly affordable apartment, throws on some fake granite countertops, and then now you're renting out a 2-bedroom for $2,000 a month.
Right. Yeah. We have a call. Easy G is on the line. Hello.
Yeah, I got to be careful what I say, because somebody I know might be listening, so I'm just going to be real careful with what I'm going to say. But
sure.
I just say it on Facebook, but all I know is I've had a lot of issues places. I'm going to say where I lived or who I dealt with because somebody I know could be listening. Like I would say, nobody was listening, so I'm going to be real careful with my words.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've run into a lot of problems. But the good news for me is, I had a friend who wanted to pay a security deposit, and I pay him back later. But I bet 1% of people have that, and then I know almost everybody in the city. So if I had an issue, I'd be even going. I know how to deal with it, but I bet 1% of people know that.
That's so true. A lot of people don't know about either the resources available to them or the rights available to them. And then the fear you have is so true. Like with the Housing Commission, on the 22nd, we're going to have some tenants come in to speak. And it took us a while to feel comfortable with that because, like this gentleman, scared to speak out because what if he gets retaliated against and loses his apartment?
Now, are there any laws
I never lost my apartment for standing up myself. I never did. I was very lucky.
Yeah, there is luckily there's retaliation laws. So say you're organizing.
No, it never happened to me. Never.
Right, you're very lucky. Now, say you ever come to like say my tenant clinic and you come to find out tenant rights, and your landlord finds out somehow because we speak to him, and soon after you're getting evicted, and you're not behind on rent or. Nothing was ever a problem beforehand. You can bring up that defense at court that you see it as retaliation, usually within 6 months.
Yeah, unfortunately, when I moved back to town, I was evicted because they were slumlords. And, yeah, I could go into very details, but I lost the place because there was a lot of problems. But going forward, of course, I had a lot of problems at other places, but I was able, by that point, to know who in the city. And, I even knew the mayor, which 1% of people do, obviously. And so I contacted them, and they said, "Well, you called a certain number." And at that point, I always stood up for myself. Now I'm living in another place. I'm not going to get into it. And no place is perfect, but the last place I moved in, not going to get into it, but I had a lot of problems. And unfortunately, it was hell. It was hell it was hell on earth to close up the place. And unfortunately, I hate to say this, but there was a lot of problems. I'm not going to get into it because, I never know who's listening. But the last place I had was a lot of problems. I'm not going to say who I dealt with because... But at the end, I had a lot of problems. Everybody listening, everybody there in the studio knows what problems are.
Yeah, what I see sometimes happen, like say someone has an inattentive landlord, what I see what happens in court is they go in and they say, well, I've dealt with these bad problems for the past year or two here. The landlord turns around and says, well, I have a certificate of compliance. Things are fine, but it doesn't reflect the current citations or issues or anything. And it makes it harder for the tenant. And that can lead to homelessness. So when tenants are trying to fight for healthier, safe apartment dwellings, or their money isn't being applied correctly and they try and defend themselves in court and the place is unhealthy or unsafe, when they have to move from there, they usually lose belongings. The place they live in next is usually worse. So it doesn't get better. It just keeps getting worse.
Yeah.
Right. Well, unfortunately, with this side, when I got evicted, I became almost homeless, but I was able to get back on my feet like I always did because I like 1%. I knew people in the high places. I didn't let, after that eviction, people walk all over me because, Matt and Jenny know me very well. I don't let that happen. So we'll leave it at that. I'm going to open the phone lines to somebody else. Thank you.
All right, Easy. Thanks for the call. Brandon, I think earlier you started to say something.
Yeah, so Matt, I just wanted to just, in as few words as possible, to answer your question of are there retaliation laws? And that is, they're on the books, but whether or not tenants actually have the freedom to, actually press these rights, that's a whole nother question.
Yeah.
Tenants are very afraid to take it to court because if you do get evicted through court, that goes on your record.
Yeah.
And an eviction on your record in this market is basically, it's nearly impossible to get, actually even get a rental application for most landlords, let alone get the apartment.
Yeah. Well, also, landlords can retaliate in other ways too. Like, when your lease is up and it's time to renew, and they, all of a sudden they're like doubling your rent, or and in that case, if your lease is ending, you really don't have any. I don't know how you would even prove that they're doing it in a retaliatory manner. I mean, they've really, just got everybody by the throat.
Well, there's a mention of a list. I had one tenant in today in the clinic that mentioned the list that they are on. We have yet to find out who maintains this list. Is it the company that checks things.
Like
for
a blacklist of tenants?
Yeah. Is it run by the rooming houses? Is it run by just the landlords? Is it on the landlord connection that has a new name now? What is this list? So if anybody has been told that they're on this list, I ask you to come see me.
Yeah.
Because there's an investigative journalist trying to work on this.
Oh, really?
So I'm trying to figure out this list and what it encompasses, because if people are not being properly represented on that list, could border slander for them. But it's trying to find this list because it prevents so many people from obtaining even boarding houses.
Yeah, I can imagine. We have a question in the chat room. Our friend Melanie La Liberty from the great state of Vermont is asking, is enough wheelchair accessible housing available in New Hampshire? We are finding this to be an issue in Vermont because most of the housing is 50 to 100 years old. That's a great question. That wouldn't have even occurred to me.
Fantastic question.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could speak a lot on that. We had, we both worked with somebody that had an issue like that. They suffered a stroke a few years ago, almost 2 years ago. And due to that stroke, they could only use a portion of their hand. They could only use one hand a little bit. They lived on a third floor apartment. They were effectively evicted on their own from there. They had to rely on the fire department to bring them up and down, so they couldn't stay at their apartment anymore. They had to go to the shelter. The shelter didn't have proper ADA equipment there, right?
Oh, yeah. No, the shelter here in Manchester is terrible for accommodating those with disabilities.
Finally get him into an apartment. The apartment's so old that they can't do any modifications to it. Finally, a year later, he is in public housing where it is ADA compliant. But a big push now is for either ADA compliancy or what we call universal housing. You want housing to where when you step in, you can be in there from the day you're born till the day you die. Whatever you go through, that's housing. So if you become relying on a wheelchair, that you could still get through your house that way or your apartment, that you don't have to have special apartments set aside just for handicap, that they're all in a way universal. But pushing for that is a new, it's like a, like not a fad, but people are finally starting to recognize it's needed and talk about it more.
Yeah.
Another thing being talked about more too is VASH vouchers, VASH. It's for veterans.
Oh.
I can't remember exactly what the 4 letters stand for. I used to know it till I was put on air.
Yeah.
But that's also something not spoken about, and it's quite comparable to the housing choice voucher, but for veterans. The housing that I spoke of coming at the new police station will have 20 units set aside for VASH housing. It's supposed to be a more universal design. But yeah, that's a huge problem. And I had someone say to me once, and it makes sense. They went and visited Rome. Rome had appropriate. They had
wheelchair ramps.
Yeah, so the Colosseum can do that. We should be able to find a way here too.
Yeah.
But yet we haven't yet.
And I actually have a number on that. So last I looked this up, this is in like 2022 or 2021. There were about 600,000 ADA residential units in the entire country.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know this, but there are significantly more people who need ADA accommodations than that number.
I was going to say that number seems low. Yeah.
Incredibly low. Well, see, landlords are not subject to ADA because it only really applies to like places accessible to the public. And residences aren't categorized that way.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, by the way, I looked it up. It's VASH is Veterans Affairs Supportive Housing.
Thank you.
Yeah, we always need more resources for veterans. That's for sure.
I just want to say the existence of veteran homelessness absolutely disgusts me.
Me too.
Like the fact that this is a thing, like we have the ability to bomb every square inch of the face of the earth, but we don't have the ability to put veterans into housing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think it tells you where our priorities are.
Yeah, it's a problem that never gets solved. You know, we have bottomless pits of money for some things, and yet other things like taking care of our veterans, we just never seem to quite figure that out. It's very frustrating. My dad's a veteran, and it's it hits close to home.
I mean, listen, if I spend all of my income on video games and then I don't pay it on rent, what does that tell you about my priorities, right?
Right.
So if we're spending all of our money on bombs, but not the actual people putting their lives on the line, like what do we prioritize more? And unfortunately, it's not the people.
Yeah.
With everything that's gone on with rents just exponentially going up and the lack of available housing, do you have any idea on like what kind of an increase in homelessness we've seen within maybe the last year or two?
Oh God,
huge, and it doubled. the homelessness population doubled what's on paper. And what's scary about that is what's on paper is never a true reflection of what's in real life.
Now, are you talking about locally or nationally or
Locally?
Locally, okay.
It's probably a good barometer for nationally.
Yeah. Well, one thing is that a lot of homelessness is actually invisible. So when we think of homelessness, we think of somebody sleeping in a tent or like a sleeping bag on the side of the street.
Mm-hmm.
But there are a lot of people who are actually homeless, or I tend to use the word houseless, but I'll switch back and forth. But there are people who are houseless that don't even realize it. So it's if you're sleeping on a friend's couch, or
Right.
you're sleeping in your van, or whatever, you're couch surfing, like you're homeless. And those are people that we have a difficult time counting.
Yeah.
Especially when they're vulnerable people like children or
Mhm.
really just anybody else, really.
That's a really good point.
And the hardest part about that is when they're not in the shelters, they're not in catchment. They're not always in a program that can, and catchment is a part of the continuum of care. Catchment's like, you can kind of analyze it as like a big net to catch you. When you go into catchment, like at a shelter, they're going to ask you a lot of uncomfortable questions. And it's basically to sort you through the myriad of all the different housing programs, assistance that are out there, what would deny you or accept you for some, to try and find something for you. So until you get into catchment, you're in this gray zone where you are existing as homeless, but you're not getting all the help that's out there for you.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest thing to do, is walk through those doors. Back when my kids were little, I had to do it. When I first became disabled, connective tissue disease, I had to learn how to cope with it, to get back out. I had to go into a shelter. My kids were 3 and 1 at the time. It was really hard to do. And if I had family up here, I probably would have delayed it. But a couple months, I got through the process. I got things situated. I got set up on stuff. So without going through those doors, you're delaying services to yourself. But the hard part is a lot of those doors have been full.
Yeah.
So one of my clients over at the Comfort Inn, she's been on a waiting list for families in transition family shelter since she's been there. And we're going on like 4 months now. So there's waiting lists at shelters. I heard some have opened up at 199 because of 39 Beach Street. We have a little bit of availability at one. They said something like 12 beds the other day during the day. I don't know what happens by 8 at night.
Yeah.
But having, I'm so happy to see 39 Beach Street be here, that I hope we have growth from that and delve into the transitional housing, because we're about to have a whole bunch more by the end of June hit those doors.
Evictions nationwide are the highest they've been since 2008.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me, because I remember
Doesn't surprise me anymore.
Yeah, well, with the evictions moratorium too, during the height of COVID, which was extended longer than a lot of people expected. Everyone knew what was going to happen. As soon as that moratorium ended, that was going to be it. There was going to be a tidal wave of evictions, and it seems like that has not dissipated.
I think our renovation evictions are payback for the moratorium. Personally, that's my opinion. I said it from the get-go.
Give an explanation of what you mean by renovation evictions. I want people to know what that means.
So when a good cause evictions. So when a landlord needs to renovate their property, it's normally such a renovation that you being there, it's too much to do with you there, either safely or conveniently, and that they need you to be gone for that reason. But what happens sometimes is those renovations aren't occurring, or it's a very tiny, it's just a painting and switch out some appliances. Some people feel that it's a way to get the old tenants out that knew about all the building problems and new ones in that aren't going to complain and will pay higher rent for it.
Yeah.
It's one of them. I'll mention it because I'll repeat this one time and time again. 360 Dubuque Street. I had a client that lived there.
Can I say the landlord's name?
No, don't, please. Yeah, let's not.
The day they were moving out of their apartment, and they called me scared because they were too scared to go back in and get the rest of their belongings because somebody was already moving in. How is that a renovation? That's not a renovation.
Didn't something happen? This was in Salem, New Hampshire, maybe 6 months ago. There was this massive, this entire apartment complex. They just out of nowhere.
Funny you mentioned that. I'm working with them. Westgate Salem
Okay.
tenants.
It's in Salem, right? Salem,
Yep.
yeah. And they just it was like this mass eviction of all these families all at once, and it just came out of nowhere.
You want to hear the worst part?
Yeah. I mean,
so it's 12
no, but yeah.
It's 12 buildings there. We both actually went out when we first heard about it. Our work has brought us, he's been busy with some other stuff, so I've been taking on the Westgate
Plenty of tenants to go around.
right?
Yeah.
So there's 12 buildings there, and all 12 buildings were getting evicted. They set them up on a timeline, so basically every 3 months, 2 buildings got emptied. We got involved. They pushed the dates out by 5 months. They increased, because of them getting together and working together and the tenants organizing, they were able to increase the money offer that they were going to be given to move. They were able to add 5 months of time to their timeline. The really sad part is this company, Gilbert C. Campbell, they turned around and they went back on those 5 months, and they said, we're going back to the original dates, but we always told you we could, because it did stipulate at the bottom, dates subject to change.
Oh, wow.
So these people thought they had 5 months, and then suddenly they realized, I don't have 5 months, I have to get it in high. So they've done a little bit of extending, trying to work with them, but what we're really hoping is that they give those tenants first dibs on reapplying for the buildings as they stated they would. They were told that they would get first dibs in the reapplication process.
How much are the rents going up? They've got to be raising the rent.
It's a few $100s at least, but what's interesting about this complex is they refuse to take Section 8. So it's not a complex that makes it easy for me to walk around in, because it gives me more rights when a complex does take Section 8. I can go door to door more. But they say that that's why they keep the rents low, is not doing that, and they keep it low on purpose, but they did raise it. I just find it pretty bad that during winter they would go back on those dates like that.
Yeah, that's horrible.
And it's a lot of people. So if we're already looking at a market where our county of Hillsborough has a 0.4 vacancy rate, and you're about to unleash 2 buildings onto the open market. Now, if you got 16 units in one building, can you even in one day go find 16 affordable apartments online in one day?
Nope.
No.
It's brutal.
Yeah, I mean,
And all the new buildings that are being built lately, from what I understand, they're all upper end apartments. None of them are really getting built to be affordable.
I got those numbers here. So the Housing
Oh, you
Commission
do?
put together a really cool sheet. Katie Marquis, I love her. She's great. So we have these numbers here. Estimated number of units approved in progress, 1,439. Number of approved units offered below fair market rate, 210.
Wow.
I like to call it trickle-down housing.
Yeah.
So, again, it's
That's a good one, actually. Yes.
it's like hey, a bunch of like low income people are struggling with housing. What are we gonna do? Oh, let's give housing to the people at the top of the income brackets.
Because
and then
they
hope
think
that-
they'll leave the other apartments that were cheaper before and that the prices will go down. That's the thought.
And one thing I want to say is I get told to study economics all the time. So I've looked into economics. I've taken an economics college course. And one thing that I've learned is that housing, both the supply and the demand, is inelastic, which means that it's not subjected to the normal influences of supply and demand as you think.
Okay.
And the biggest reason why is, if, let's say, like my cell phone right here, right? Like more people want my cell phone than they can produce. The price of the cell phone goes up. Maybe I can go without a cell phone, or maybe I could use like an older cell phone for a little bit, and that's fine, right? But you need housing. I mean, if you're told, hey, you're paying 30% of your income right now, landlord says we're going to double that. So now you're going to pay more than half your income in housing, or are you going to sleep in your car? What are you going to do?
Right.
That's not a choice that us as consumers of the housing market can really adequately make.
Right.
So it leaves landlords at a really huge advantage and tenants at a disadvantage, because you need housing to survive. And I'll tell you what, despite what I see some people say, you cannot go put up a tent in the park. That's not an option. You have to be somewhere. You have to go somewhere, and you legally can't exist anywhere if you're homeless.
Well, there's 3 basic human needs: food, clothing, and shelter.
Yeah, bingo.
Yep.
I saw something on MUR actually the other day. Was a family that is building like tiny homes, but they're not like super tiny. They're just smaller houses.
Yeah.
In Dover, and they're centering it on affordable housing for people who are actually working in the community of Dover. as first responders, firefighters, police, EMS, teachers, people that are working like that is who they're going to offer these homes to. And I thought it was such a wonderful idea, but we need more of that.
Yep.
But the thing that drives me nuts is when we talk about homelessness is we don't allow people to exist in any place.
Yep.
Like if they go under a bridge in the woods where you can't see them, they chase them out of there. They throw their stuff into the trash. They tell them go to the shelter, and then they chase them out. So they go find another place to set up, and then they chase them out.
Yeah.
I can agree with what happened recently here in our city, and it's happening all around the nation. Is that the amount of people that are on our streets homeless is just insanely high. People think it's just here. It's not.
Everywhere.
The entire country is an exacerbated amount of homelessness that in part came out of the pandemics.
Yeah.
And in a large part has come out of literal greed.
Yeah.
Just literal flat out greed. Oh, inflation went up. Well, I can up my rent.
Yeah.
And landlord after landlord after landlord did that, saw that they could, maybe get a few more bucks and said, to heck with it. I don't care if they go homeless. I'll just move somebody else in.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just it's mind just boggling to me how insensitive and inhumane people have become. But what do you tell? Here's my question. Here's a different question for you. What do you tell the single guy who's got kids? Because I know I can find a shelter for women and children. But what do you do if you're a single dad with kids? Is there a place for you?
Very few. Not enough. So we tend to prioritize generally women and children. There are programs that do exist here, but those programs are incredibly stretched thin.
Yeah.
I mean,
that'd be like a families in transition was a transitional housing type model kind of thing. But yeah, that's a very good point because the majority of our family shelters are women with their children.
Yeah.
There are, and then when say without kids, that's another hard part when you're homeless and you're facing that with somebody else, and then you want to go to a shelter and they tell you have to split up. One can go to Nashua, one can go to this city. And I feel horrible because they've gotten to that point with that person there. They found a way to get fed. And sometimes it takes that teamwork of two people. And now you're splitting up those two. And that's one reason they won't go, stuff like that. There's different rules.
Well, specifically for shelters don't necessarily work for everybody. There are actually a few veterans that I've talked to. They're not ready for four walls and a roof over their head, maybe quite yet. Shelters are often they're congregate, which means there are sometimes dozens, if not over 100 people sleeping in the same room.
Yeah.
And oftentimes the rules at these shelters are more strict than the rules that I faced as a high schooler living with my parents.
Yeah, that's something I've heard a lot.
When you say that, well, give me some examples that people can understand. Like it's not don't have a party.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
not that simplistic.
Yeah. So, for instance, let's talk about 199 Manchester Street here in Manchester. So, check-in starts around is it 5 or 6, I believe?
It's 6 or something.
Yeah. And then if you miss the line by the time doors close at 7, I believe, then you have to go and spend the night outside. If you leave the shelter in the middle of the night, you can get kicked out in the middle of the night. People have gotten kicked out for they woke up at 2 a.m, wanted to take a cigarette break, snuck outside to hit a few drags, and then boom, they get kicked out.
Well, to me, the obvious problem with that is if you're working a job, you're trying to get things back on track, and what if you get a job working at night?
Yeah.
If you're working second shift, and then what do you do after you get out of work? You can't go to the shelter because they won't let you in.
No kidding.
Yeah, a client of mine today, they don't get out of work till 10 p.m. at night, so they've been sleeping in a car because they can't get to the shelter in time. So we're going to be going to look at other shelter options.
I just want to say people do get work passes, but sometimes it's not that easy though, because we've heard of work passes either expiring, or let's say you get a work pass to be out until 11 o'clock, right?
Mm-hmm.
And your boss says, hey, we're really short staffed tonight. Can you stay an extra hour? Sometimes they have to say, no, I have to get back to the shelter instead of taking that extra hour of wages.
And what if you get a job that mandates?
Yeah.
Tough luck.
All of my jobs for 20 years mandated.
Yeah. I mean, well, another thing too that I want to say is increasingly it's been upsetting how many houseless individuals have jobs as well too. I'm glad we're talking about that.
Oh yeah.
Because there tends to be a stigma saying that like, oh, they're lazy slobs.
Oh, they
who
don't wanna
wanna work. It's like, no, people do want to work, and I've met multiple homeless people, formerly homeless people now, that within a few months of being placed in an actual apartment, they started working or volunteering. Because they had the means to take a shower before their shifts,
right?
You know, and or they
How
just
many
get
of the
bored.
homeless that are like going into work at a place and coming out and sleeping in their car?
A lot,
because there just isn't. Yeah.
Oh, actually, it was Portsmouth. They wanted to do an ordinance to ban people sleeping in campers and in vans, and then they stopped it because they found out one of the people sleeping in their car was a firefighter.
I'll be damned.
Wow.
I mean,
wow.
That's wild to me. A firefighter in Portsmouth cannot afford to live in Portsmouth. I mean, that's a policy choice.
And Portsmouth is notoriously expensive.
Yeah.
But
I have little doubt that it's here in the city the same way.
Oh God,
I
yeah.
have little doubt that there's a firefighter out there that it can't afford a place on their own.
Oh, of course,
they're having to move room with somebody else, or maybe they're staying with a family member. You know, no, nobody cares about the where they're living.
What it takes to qualify for an apartment. My daughter's 19. She's out there. She's working 50 hours a week. She had to find a job to where the hourly income to where was enough that with also 10 hours of overtime minimum per week, she would make enough to qualify just for her one bedroom.
Yeah.
Right, because you have to be able to prove that it's less than, what's the percentage now of income to rent?
1 to 3. 1 to 3, basically.
So HUD says you're cost burdened if your rent and utilities is more than 30% of your income.
But what is it in the New Hampshire law that landlords are able to use as...
It's not law. But they go by it. They go by your 3 times the amount of your rent.
It's whatever they want, really.
I thought they had a right to deny you if you didn't meet that under law.
They have a right to deny you for a myriad of reasons in our state, but there's no state statute on denying you for your income. What they can set what they want to set for qualifying when it doesn't involve discrimination.
Gotcha.
But we can still discriminate on those housing choice vouchers, so get that in there while you can, I guess.
Right. We are coming up on a quarter of, so we'll start to wrap up the segment. But before we do, and Jessica, I know you have to get somewhere, but before we do, I'd love it if both of you could just tell us anything that we didn't, anything you wanted to mention that we didn't get to, and of course, websites, resources people should know, anything that our listeners should know about as far as how to get help, and because God knows a lot of people are looking for help.
Well, we both have unions going, basically. I have the Granite State Tenants Association. And
we have the Granite State Tenants Union.
Okay,
we're working on differentiating the names though.
Yeah.
That way, people, we just want to let them know that there are unions in the state growing for tenants like us.
Where can people reach out if they want to try and get in touch with you guys?
They can call me at 603-333-7922 or Jessica. My email, Jessica M at granitestateorganizing.org. So call, text, email. I also have a tenant clinic. That's what I came from before I came up here. Every Wednesday from 1 to 4 at 1045 Elm Street. We're on the second floor right above Margarita's. It's got that big, great sign out there on the corner. It helps find us. So that's Wednesday 1 to 4. And then the second Saturday of every month is our tenant association meeting. So that's this Saturday coming up. That's from 12 to 3. Alderman Long should be there for that. I try and see if he'll come out or anybody else. That way tenants have someone to be able to ask important questions they may have about the city too. We're about 60 strong right now. 20 to 30 normally end up showing up. We have food and drinks each Saturday. I'm hoping for pizza this Saturday, but I can't guarantee it.
Gotta get the people in with the pizza.
That's right.
Matt will go anywhere for pizza.
Of course. And you can reach out to me, 603-391-1178. Or Brandon, BRANDON, at rad, RAD as in dog, NH.org. Or you can go to radmovement.org as well to find me and to know a little bit more about who I am and what we do.
Excellent. Well, thank you both so much, Jessica Margison and Brandon LeMay. It's wonderful. Brandon, nice to meet you for the first time.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Nice to meet you too.
Really wonderful to have you both
Absolutely.
here, and you're doing great work. Please keep it up, and really appreciate you spending this time with us today.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna play a little song, and Jenny and I will be right back.
Strangers in my hallways, peaceful dreams are swimming in my head.
Come on down to the Hop Knot at 1000 Elm Street, Manchester's premier craft beer and gourmet pretzel bar. Tell us more, Trudy.
We make our dough fresh every day. We make a variety of styles of pretzels and serve craft beer, cocktails, and a few bottles of wine. We do the traditional pretzel, and we have multiple flavors for that. We also do stuffed pretzels, pretzel sandwiches, free dessert pretzels, and pretzel knots.
The Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan Plaza at 1000 Elm Street.
Bring your kitchen to life with Queen City Cabinetry, located at 87 Elm Street in the historic Sunbeam Mall in Manchester. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They can be reached at 603-222-2007 or on the web at queencitycabinetrynh.com. Come see the possibilities. Queen City Cabinetry, another proud sponsor of WMNH.
Clemento's Pizzeria, family friendly, awesome for a date night. Clemento's Pizzeria.
For delivery, call 603-782-8450.
Clemento's Pizzeria, the best pizza in town.
1875 South Willow Street in Manchester, New Hampshire.
Best cocktails around.
Come in as friends and leave as family.
This hour on WMNH is sponsored by CGI Business Solutions, located at 5 Dartmouth Drive in Auburn. They serve all your business needs, including employee benefits planning, corporate design and business administration, investments and wealth management, and customized business insurance solutions. Their phone number is 866-841-4600 or on the web at cgibusinesssolutions.com.
WMNH, rip the knob off.
Hey everybody, you're listening to Matt Connerton Unleashed. We are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM, and I am not alone. Yep. Jenny is with us as well.
Better late than never.
And that was a great discussion there with Jessica Margison and Brandon LeMay.
Absolutely. That was a really great discussion.
And by the way, I want to mention too, Scott Robinson said in the chat room, Brandon's a great dude. So getting some love. Sorry we didn't get to everybody's questions, but we only had limited time with those two. So, but that was great. Great to meet Brandon. And in just a couple of minutes, actually, we're going to be talking with the members of the band Infinity Vein. They joined us at the end of November, but they've got a brand new single. They are from Texas, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And we have the world premiere
of
their new song.
The world radio premiere of the new single, Angel. But what we're going to do first is we're going to play another song of theirs before we bring them on air with us, a track called The Unknown, which I really like a lot. And I think this is the song that we played originally on the show when we first met the members of Infinity Vein. So what we'll do is we're going to give that a listen as we traverse into hour number 2, numero dos. We'll give The Unknown a spin, and then we'll bring on our guests from the band Infinity Vein. I think it's 2 of the members, correct?
I think so.
Yes.
We shall see.
So this will be fun. I'm looking forward to this, and they'll tell us all about the new single and all of that, which Jenny and I, of course, have already heard it, and
it's awesome.
and we love it.
I love it.
So Infinity Vein, the world radio premiere of Angel, coming right up. But first,
but not yet.
Let's revisit. Let's revisit this great Infinity Vein track. This is called The Unknown.
Time will show and then we'll know, unraveling another mystery. First to sow but last to know, if I'll ever glimpse the stars again. So say you still, what you will, yet only whisper how you feel. Stride
Oh, they have a great sound.
It's gorgeous.
The Unknown by Infinity Vein here on Matt Connerton Unleashed. We are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. Also on Comcast 97 if you're in Manchester. And hello to all of our online listeners across the nation and around the globe. You can go to my website, mattconnerton.com, for all your live streaming options, social media links, contact info, show archives, etc., etc. And it is Wednesday, February 8, 2023. Jenny is here with us at the news desk. And in a moment, were you going to say something?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Miriam. We love you.
Yes, we love our friend Miriam. Happy birthday. And in just a moment, we're going to be joined by a couple of members of the band Infinity Vein. I think one of them is, or are they both going to be on Skype? Or we'll figure it out. But they're going to be
thingy.
But they're going to be joining us for the world radio premiere of the brand new single Angel, which is really, really good.
Now, I did pop a link into the chat room of both their Facebook page and their YouTube channel. The song you just heard, you can actually click into their lyric video.
Yes, yes.
It's gorgeous. I love that song.
Yeah, no, great sound. Nice big sound. I like it a lot. She's got a great voice. And
big time.
Just really good stuff. So, so they're going to be joining us. They are from Texas. And
Texas has a lot of good talent.
Yeah.
We seem to get quite a few bands from there. I've really been impressed with what has just kind of found its way to us.
I know the Austin music scene in particular is just incredible.
I would have thought it was twang twang country, like ding 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 ding. I would have thought more country music, but there's a lot of great rock music coming out of Texas. There really is.
Oh, our friend Elizabeth Ropp, also known as the Acupunk. Haven't seen her in a while. She's in the chat and she says, "OMG, happy birthday to Miriam Banish." Yes.
Yay.
While we wait for Infinity Vein. Oh, I just heard the Skype make a noise. I think they might be.
Maybe they're trying
I think they're about to join us.
Skype-ish-inish. The Skypey thingy.
But
Skype-ish-inish.
But here we go.
Oh, there we go.
Hello. How are you?
Hey. Good.
Oh, you sound good too. It's a good connection. Who do we have on the Skype?
It's Jana and Mike.
Hey.
Jana and Mike, welcome.
Glad to see you made it.
Yes.
Jana, did Mike talk to you at all about, this interview? Maybe before today?
Because I mean, he talked to me on Monday because he told me it was on Monday, and I was like, okay, I'm ready. And he's like, oh, you thought it was on Monday too? I thought it was on Monday too. And I was like, no, you literally told me it was on Monday.
Oh boy.
Oh, so that explains why this afternoon he's like, so how are we doing this? Like, really? And then he's like, so what do you guys call us from this Skypey thingy? Skypey thingy was the dead giveaway that, oh no, musicians.
Well, it all worked out.
It did. I kudos. You did get it to totally function. I'm assuming, Jana, you might have done that. Maybe.
I mean, me and my my husband RM, who does the lyrics for our group, when we first met online, that's how we would talk to each other, was through Skype. So that was years ago. So I haven't used it in a while. I had to re-download it and stuff, which was fun. But I'm glad I remembered my password too.
There you go. I used to hate Skype. 10 years ago, it seems like Skype was very
awful,
very glitchy. And over the years, it's gradually improved. And actually, it's been a while since, we do have quite a few guests via Skype. And we haven't really had an issue with Skype in a long time. It's nice. And Peter uses it every day on the morning show for Carol Robideau from Manchester Inklink. She Skypes in, and it seems to work really well. So it's nice. But I guess, also with the pandemic, with everyone using Zoom and these other services, I think Skype had to finally figure their stuff out.
Upgrade.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're excited. We're excited for the world radio premiere of the new track Angel. What can you tell us about this?
So a couple years back, I want to say, I could be wrong on this information, but I want to say it was back in 2017. Me and my husband were about to get married, and we get married later that year, and we had to live long distance for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
because of work and school and some things like that. And we had met online. And so doing long distance felt a lot harder because, you know, we had been together for a couple of years and we're like, oh my gosh, this is awful. So for Valentine's Day, he sends me a video of him singing a song that he wrote. And it was the beginnings of what is now Angel.
Oh.
So I am technically the angel, and he wrote that about me.
Oh.
And it's really cute, just like about how our world just feels like it's crumbling down all around us. But as long as, you know, we believe in each other, like it's like the sappiest, like cutest song that we can probably come up with. We keep calling it the happiest song, and it just goes downhill from here.
Nice.
For real.
So yeah, he wrote it for me for Valentine's Day, and the way he sang it was a little bit more, I don't want to use the word monotone, but it was such a good song, the way that the words came together, that I remember sitting with my friend Joe, because at the time we used to have like little jam sessions together, and he's a good friend of both of us, and he just literally, he's like, Jan, you just wrote that song in like 10 minutes. Like that took you 10 minutes to write that song. Like, and that was just the chords and me playing around on the guitar, and it flowed so naturally the way it came out.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, this is a really cool song. And it's kind of been my go-to. Before Infinity Vein came together, I've done a few solo projects with it, and had some fun with that. And like, and every time I play like an acoustic set, open mic or whatever, back in the day, I would play that song, and everyone loves that song. So it's just a really, it came together so quickly, and it's just a really well put together song. And I was so excited when Micah, our bass player, came up with this amazing like arpeggio thing for it, and then I came up with a new piano thing for the Infinity Vein version as well. And now it just has like this fullness to it, like this whole kind of like orchestrated. It has like this emotion to it. It's a totally different vibe than when it first started, even though it came together so quickly when I first started singing that song. So,
by the way, so you've got some fans in the chat room here. I hear somebody's dog.
That was my dog.
Oh my goodness. Tony Bolello, if I'm saying that correctly, says Infinity Vein rocks. I also saw somebody else in here from who identified themselves as being from Texas, a name I don't recognize. So these might be fans of yours. Jim and Julie Boland.
It's my parents.
Oh, hi, Mom and Dad.
They say saying hi from Texas. Very nice.
Hi from Manchester, New Hampshire.
And Scott Robinson said, in 12 to 15 more years, you won't mind the distance. Well, of course, now there's no distance. You're in a band together, you and your husband, right?
Honestly, I feel like we've been married for almost 6 years now.
Yeah.
And we have 2 kids, and I don't feel that way at all. Like we're still just like, we still feel like we're in high school, and we just feel like we're just so in love with each other. It's kind of annoying for a lot of people, actually.
I think that sounds cool.
That we annoy people a lot.
No, that's cool. Do your we have a call. I think somebody might be calling with a question. Hi, welcome to Matt Connerton Unleashed. Who's this?
It's Ridley.
Wow. Well, hello, Dave Ridley.
Have you been listening?
We've got Infinity Vein on the line with us. Do you have a question for them?
Yeah, I was out walking, so I couldn't log in, so I can call back later.
Okay. Yeah.
How about listening?
Yeah, we actually have a musical guest with us, Dave. If you'd like to give us a call back.
We're not just hanging around here having a walk. Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
All right, enjoy your walk. Bye-bye.
Oh, my God.
All right, that was our friend Dave Ridley.
Can you ever just listen? Just once.
Sometimes.
Just listen.
Sometimes he does. Sometimes he does.
Sometimes? Give him a sometimes, all right.
Jana, do the kids, do they show any inclination in terms of musicality?
Our 3-year-old, she just turned 3. Her name is Ayla. And the other one is 7 months old, so she's still a little baby. Her name is Lyrica.
Okay.
And Ayla, she sings all the time.
Oh, no kidding.
All the time.
Oh,
She will sing just about everything. And funny enough, if I start singing with her, sometimes she's just not in the mood for that. And she's like, no, stop singing.
Oh, wow.
It's so funny because, like, honey, this is what I do.
Yeah.
Like, I actually, about a month ago, I started a new job as a vocal instructor and piano instructor. For kids at a school of rock. So, and I'm actually really loving that job. So I'm like, this is literally what I do, honey. I sing.
You said it's at a school of rock?
Yeah, School of Rock.
Oh, tell us more about that. That's interesting.
Yeah. So, you've probably think of the movie, like 2003 with Blackjack.
Yeah.
And it is literally, that it's it's a program that's for, kids and adults to take up lessons on basically drums, bass guitar, electric guitar, piano, vocals are usually what I see in there. And they have a performance-based, song-based approach to learning music. So you take a song and you learn a song for a program, and then you add in the theory with that later. So that way you're not, learning scales first or learning sheet music first and all of those things about theory. Like, it's a very immersive experience, and it's also very collaborative with other musicians. They try to get people to do like singular lessons for whatever they're supposed to be doing, and then they'll come together with a full band and another day of the week. It's really cool. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Funny enough, my niece is in college right now, and she's taking a guitar course, and it's the exact opposite of a song first approach. It's all theory.
Yeah.
And they're trying to make her read sheet music to learn how to play a guitar when she doesn't know how to do either of those. And it's supposed to be a beginner course. And I'm like, honey, because I went to college for music. I was like, honey, we have the same theory book. My theory class was a separate class. You can't just combine the two like that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I absolutely love my job. It's amazing.
What's kind of the age range of the students? Can you put an average on that, or does it range wildly?
So if and like I'm still kind of new to it, so I might get some of this information a little bit off. But the youngest they have is going to be like 6 and 7 year olds for rookies.
Yeah.
And they will have them, just kind of like play with an instrument and just figure out what they like,
Yeah.
And then they'll have Rock 101, which is for about like 10 to 14 year olds. And they'll actually perform songs together.
Oh, okay.
And that's a little bit more advanced. And if they do well in that later, they'll graduate to, I can't remember what the final ensemble is for like the high school kids. And they'll do something much more advanced, and it'll be like very full and whatnot. And then there's also a whole separate thing for adults. But yeah, it's all kinds of age groups. But it starts from like 6 to 7 and it just goes up from there. It's pretty great.
Are there a lot of students? Do you have any idea how many students attend?
I can't say that I know offhand, but if I had to give like a ballpark number, I would say that they've got like anywhere between like 50 to 80 students.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Coming in at different times.
Oh.
So it's pretty busy. Like when I do lessons, they are back to back, but it's really fun.
Oh, very cool. That's cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. We're talking to two of the members of the band Infinity Vein. If you'd like to ask a question or have any input, the studio line is open, 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. We have Mike and Jana with us. And what can you tell us about the production of Angel? Because, it just sounds so good. And The Unknown sounds really good, too. But I can't remember if we touched on this when we spoke at the end of November. But is there a particular studio that you work with? Do you work with a producer, or is it all self-produced? Or I'm a production geek, so I'm always curious about the nuts and bolts.
I'll go ahead and take that one, Mike.
Sure. So we work with a producer named Jeff out of Session Works in Hurst, Texas, and I've worked with him for quite a few years now. But he just knows exactly what we're trying to do and makes it happen. So it's a blessing to have him as a part of this project in some fashion.
Yeah.
So like if we're stumbling some way, or we need to figure something out, or he might have a vibe that comes up and says, he'll say, "Hey, do this." And he'll throw that in there, and it's just like it's magic. I love it because he knows exactly who we are, what we're trying to go for, and the final results. You know, he knows what we want to sell.
Yeah, I mean that makes a huge difference. It's so much easier when you have someone you can work with in that capacity who gets you and gets what you're doing. You know, I've been in a bunch of bands and had a variety of different experiences in the studio, and it's you know, there's also the opposite that can happen, which is terrible when you're working with someone who just has no idea. Or if you're working with someone who, you know, they're just the engineer at the studio, but they're trying to be sort of a producer for you and they don't get what you're doing. So if you have someone like that, it makes sense that you would continue to work with that same person because that can be rare to find someone who really gets what you're doing. So that's amazing. And it explains a lot why the music that you're putting out sounds so good and really cohesive.
Yeah, definitely. He brings so much to the table. I mean, he's a complete blessing to this project, honestly. And, you know, I can't think of anybody else that I would rather go forward with than Jeff, honestly, for sure.
Yeah, no, Jeff really knows his stuff, and he's really good at like Mike said, he knows what we're trying to accomplish with what the sound that we're going for, and he really helps us put those extra bells and whistles to make that sound like happen.
Yeah. Yep. It's a big sound. So, you know, so it can't be easy to pull that off, but yeah, that's great. Obviously him working with you is a wonderful thing. And, I don't remember if we talked about this before, but, what's the, live situation? Are you currently, playing shows? Are you doing any touring?
So we actually will have our first show June 24th. We're going to be opening up for a local band who I believe you guys will be interviewing soon, Warhog.
Yes.
And
I was talking to them earlier.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. So we'll be opening up for Warhog and Invisible Sun, I believe, is the headliner. I'm not familiar with that band, but it'll be kind of epic to see what they have to bring to the table too. So
yeah,
we're excited about that. It's going to be an outside venue type situation, outside stage. So it'll be pretty cool. Looking forward to that. Yeah, it's going to be real hot.
It's Texas.
It's Texas, yeah. Although you've had some. Have you been affected by? You had a cold snap down in Texas pretty recently, right? Did that affect you where you are at all?
Oh yeah.
Everything was shut down for like a whole week.
Wow.
It was so dangerous.
Wow.
With all the ice, like it was literally ice. I went outside. I was like, it looks like snow, and I touch it, and it's just solid ice, like 2 inches thick.
Yeah.
And we were doing our band photos like on that Sunday. It was like Monday it started to hit.
We did our band photos on that Sunday. We did a photo shoot, and I was so cold.
Yeah.
Wow.
Freezing.
It was epically cold. And apparently, I guess the photographer had said to Jana that there's some pictures that we look like we're cold.
Oh, really?
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, good thing you got that in before the
And
ice
you know what?
hit.
She's going to have this for us when she gets older. In my day, we had to be outside in the cold.
Yep.
Sorry, couldn't resist.
Yeah, I mean, obviously in Texas, you know, you're not prepared for ice and snow, and that's got to be well, was it last winter or the winter before? Where was it 2 years ago?
Yeah, it was 2 years ago where the power everywhere went out, and it, like everything was horrible. Like power lines were down, and for like weeks it was awful. Me and my husband lived right outside of a city that was going with that issue, so we got extremely lucky not having that problem. We let our friends come over and use our laundry and our shower. It was brutal. It was insane.
Yeah, Jim and Julie Boland in the chat room, they say freaking nightmare. Yeah, I can imagine. And Tony Belillo says, Mike, he's a huge fan of yours. He says you're an incredible musician.
Did you pay
Tony
him?
is awesome. Tony is a great guy. He's actually a musician himself, and I actually met him through the Nita Strauss campaign type situation. So, being a fan of hers, we just kind of like started talking, and we became good friends and whatnot. So he supports a lot of the stuff that I do, and I support a lot of the stuff that he does.
That's
and
cool.
So on and so forth. He lives in North Carolina, actually. He's a really good guy. Really good guy.
Yeah, Nita Strauss, she's no longer playing with Alice, right?
The last I knew she was, but she could have left and moved on. I have no idea.
Oh, okay. I thought that's what I had read, but I could be wrong. Oh, she's incredible. She's great, great guitar player. Absolutely. Well, listen, I'm anxious to get to the song, and like I said, I'm very honored that we get to do the world radio premiere of Angel. This is amazing. So, anything else you want us to know about the track before we play it?
Go ahead, Jana.
I don't know. Like, well, you guys, we've been told by one person that I thought was really funny that someone heard a teaser of it, and they said, like, on the comments, and people will troll and stuff. They said it sounds like an anime intro.
Oh, interesting.
And it was like, depending on who is saying that could be a compliment. It could be backhanded. It depends on who's saying that.
I love the song.
It's just because it's got like this energy, like this upbeat energy to it,
sure,
with a lot of emotion in it.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy with it. I absolutely love singing this song.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
It was wonderful to work on with everyone.
I think it's great. Thank you for letting me have a sneak peek.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Always. And February 14th will be the official release date. It'll be out on all the streaming platforms.
Okay.
So you should be able to find it there. You can pre-order it on iTunes now, and you can also pre-save on Spotify at this current time.
I got it pre-saved on my Spotify.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Excellent. And one other question, of course, for listeners, what should they know about where to find you online, how to follow you, keep up on everything that you're doing, social media, etc.? If you have a website you want to mention.
Our most prevalent social medias are going to be Facebook, which Mike runs, and TikTok, which I just started taking over. And I'm doing silly things that the guy's talking into doing, like growling random things, even though I don't know how to do metal growls. So if you want to see something silly and fun like that, or any behind the scenes stuff, you can follow the TikTok. Mike runs our Infinity Vein on Facebook. We also have an Instagram as well. But I think TikTok and Facebook are two bigger ones for the socials.
And check out in the chat room on Facebook. I have dropped the links to their YouTube, their Facebook page, and their Instagram.
Excellent.
Thanks,
I'm not a fan. I am a fan. I am an absolute fan.
Absolutely. All right, Jana, Mike, thank you so much. We'll let you bounce, and we will get to the song. But thank you so much for joining us today, and good luck with the upcoming show.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
All right, anytime. All right, bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, wonderful. That was Mike and Jana from the band Infinity Vein. And we're actually getting a call. I want to grab this in case this is someone who was calling for the band and missed the opportunity. Hi, welcome to Matt Connerton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hey guys, my name is Tony, and I'm sorry for such a late call.
Oh, hey Tony. We actually just wrapped up with Mike and Jana, unfortunately. But do you have anything you want to say about Infinity Vein before we play the track?
Absolutely. I've worked with a lot of bands all throughout America. I'm a recording engineer, and Mike will send me a lot of his music, and I've known him for a while. I watched him in Alcohol Proof, and with Infinity Vein, it's just, you have to listen to it, and you have to experience it. It's one of those tracks, put on your headphones, close your eyes, and just let the song take you. And when you're done listening to it, tune into this radio station and learn about your new favorite band. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you guys for having me on the air.
All right, Tony. Thank you for the call. Appreciate it.
That was awesome.
So that was the same. So that must be Tony Bilello in the chat room then, in the recording engineer who works with them and does such a great job. Thanks, Tony, for the call. Appreciate it very much. All right, without further ado, here it is. This is the world radio premiere of Angel from Infinity Vein.
Do you believe in me like I believe in you? Would you stand by me when the world falls through? Will I look in your eyes? It's chaos, clarity, and suddenly
I like the long fade out too. That's awesome.
I love that song. I have listened to it so many times.
Yes. Thank you again to Mike and Jana and then Tony for calling in as well, who does the engineering and production on that. Fantastic. That is the world radio premiere of Angel from the band Infinity Vein, and we will be right back. Come on down to the Hop Knot at 1000 Elm Street, Manchester's premier craft beer and gourmet pretzel bar. Tell us more, Trudy.
We make our dough fresh every day. We make a variety of styles of pretzels and serve craft beer, cocktails, and a few bottles of wine. We do the traditional pretzel, and we have multiple flavors for that. We also do stuffed pretzels, pretzel sandwiches, 3 dessert pretzels, and pretzel knots.
The Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan Plaza at 1000 Elm Street.
Bring your kitchen to life with Queen City Cabinetry, located at 87 Elm Street in the historic Sunbeam Mall in Manchester. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They can be reached at 603-222-2007 or on the web at queencitycabinetrynh.com. Come see the possibilities. Queen City Cabinetry, another proud sponsor of WMNH.
Clemento's Pizzeria, family friendly, awesome for a date night. Clemento's Pizzeria.
For delivery, call 603-782-8450.
Clemento's Pizzeria, the best pizza in town.
1875 South Willow Street in Manchester, New Hampshire.
Best cocktails around.
Come in as friends and leave as family.
This hour on WMNH is sponsored by CGI Business Solutions, located at 5 Dartmouth Drive in Auburn. They serve all your business needs, including employee benefits planning, corporate design and business administration, investments and wealth management, and customized business insurance solutions. Their phone number is 866-841-4600 or on the web at cgibusinesssolutions.com.
WMNH, rip the knob off.
Welcome back, everybody, as we cruise into our final segment today of Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious downtown Manchester, New Hampshire, and on Comcast 97 if you're in Manchester. Hello to all of our online listeners across the nation and around the globe. You can go to my website, mattconnarton.com, for all of your live streaming options, social media links, contact info, show archives, etc., etc. It is Wednesday, February 8, 2023. Jenny is here as well at the news desk.
Present and accounted for.
Yes, and if you're just joining us, we just had the world radio premiere of Angel, the brand new single from the band Infinity Vein, and that is officially released on the 14th of February.
Yes.
But we got the world radio premiere.
You can pre-save it on Spotify right now.
That's right. Yes, indeed. Yes. So we look forward to that coming out. And we have a call. We'll see who's on the line here. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hi, Maddie. It's Gary.
Hey, Gary.
Another excellent band.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm finding a lot of really great groups. I'm enjoying this
Hi,
so
Jenny,
much.
my love.
Hello, darling. How are you?
I have a question for you.
Oh?
Will you be my friendly Valentine?
Of course. Of course.
Thank you. I need a friendly Valentine.
You got it.
As opposed to an unfriendly Valentine?
Well, I have an ex-wife.
Oh.
So there you go.
Understood. Well played.
Ask a silly question.
We signed papers. We signed papers on Valentine's Day, so that was,
Intentionally? Did you plan that? or did it just turn out that way?
No, I didn't plan it. I never planned to really get divorced. So.
Yeah, but the signing of the papers, was that intentionally done on Valentine's Day?
It was, well, yeah, it happened because it went the week of Christmas said I wanted a divorce, and which is a lovely time of the year, and then Valentine's Day was final.
Oh,
so
wow.
Oh my.
Yeah. But I'm getting over it now, you know.
Yeah.
But, and Matt, will you be my Valentine too?
Sure.
It's a friend.
What is
a friend?
What is,
a friend Valentine?
What
it's nothing.
Stop it!
Don't take it that way.
Well, what I was going to say,
I just want friendly Valentines. That's all.
I was just going to say, what does this entail? How friendly do we have to be?
Don't be a jerky.
I just say,
evil.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Oh, well, happy Valentine's Day, Gary.
Thank you.
I'm going to whack you.
And make sure. Well, there is a condition. Oh. Make sure that you do something really, really great for Jenny.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I like that.
Okay.
Somebody cares.
That's one condition.
See, somebody loves me.
That's all I ask.
Oh, okay.
I don't ask for very much.
I'm relieved, I must tell you.
Stop it.
No. No, I didn't want you to dance in your leather pants, Matt. I'm not that way, you know. Although you keep saying that you looked really hot, and I'm playing a bass. So I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Matty.
No,
I'm just saying.
I mean it is documented.
I'm having a great day today.
Good.
I'm having a great week, so I'm really happy this week. I'm really happy today. I went out exercising and everything, so I'm just having a real good day, and I want to just crack jokes and make everybody laugh.
I think it's great.
So
don't listen to Grumpy over there.
No, I'm not grumpy. It does not, however, by me go unnoticed that I was asked to be Gary's Valentine.
Friendly Valentine.
He left out the word friendly when he said it in my case.
No, he did not.
At least the first time. And then he brings up me dancing around in leather pants. I don't know. I'm getting a vibe here.
Well, you know,
I don't know.
You asked for conditions. I said no, I don't want that. I just want you to make Jenny happy on Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you can dance for Jenny in your leather pants, and you know.
Don't threaten me.
I honestly don't.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I have toes I want to keep.
I honestly don't even know where my leather pants are.
I do.
You do?
Oh,
yeah.
For
I'll
real?
find
No,
them.
seriously.
I know where mine are.
Seriously, that lady has a very great voice. Another good lady rocker.
Yes.
Oh, Janet. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yes.
It's amazing how many great bands there are.
The other girl was really good. This one, she's got a really good. You know, it sounded. You know, she said she had 2 kids, so it sounded maybe that's how she learned how to do her vocals when she had her babies. You know.
Stop it! Oh my God.
No, I think she was singing before the children. That was my impression.
Okay.
Yeah.
Men.
All right. Just wondering.
Yeah.
I need help here.
No, I was just very good. Jenny, you are something else with music. I'm loving all the bands. And
Thank
I'm loving all
you
the people.
so much. I am having so much fun getting to talk to them all and getting to book them all. I'm having a blast.
Yep. She's doing a great job.
Thank you very much. I am very good at booking bands, apparently.
Yes, you are.
Yes.
Apparently you are, yes. And you're getting the I don't want to say girls, you're getting lady bands. You're getting lady singers.
It'd be lady bands. What's that?
Lady bands.
Bands
lady,
with lady singers.
Usually you get the guys that scream and yell. These girls have very great pipes.
I've had guys with some really great pipes coming in, too. I mean, what about Taylor? Oh, my. What a vocal on that guy.
Oh, yeah.
I think all of the musicians that I've been lucky enough to bring in have been absolutely excellent. I haven't been disappointed in a single one.
Oh,
Not a one.
You know, I wish they'd play them on regular radio. You know, like, there's not very many stations that will play. They play the same old
It's
jingle,
really hard for
jangle,
independent artists to get airplay. I love that we get to do that. I really do.
Oh, yeah. And maybe someday you'll get smooth jazz.
Oh, don't you stop it!
Well,
maybe I'll get a real jazz player, not Matt's version.
You can have smooth jazz.
Stop it!
some
You
smooth
started this.
saxophone playing.
Gary,
You know?
You can
stop it. You're getting him going. This is all your fault now. Bad things are going to happen.
But Jenny, he'll play the Pineapple Suite, you know? There you go.
Is that a thing? Is there a Pineapple Suite?
Pineapple Suite?
I like pineapple.
Oh, no, there was a jazz song. It's a very old one. It's a pineapple thing. They did it. Yeah,
Really?
It's dedicated to a very old pineapple drink way back. Nobody knows it. It's never been recorded, but I'm a musician and I go out and look for weird music, so.
All right, well, you brought up smooth jazz, and
Stop it.
I was going to let it go, but then you started talking about pineapple, so here's your punishment.
Hey.
This is everyone.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you, Jenny.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm sorry.
I hate this song.
I'm sorry, Jenny. Forgive me. Will you still be my Valentine, though?
I'm going to have to think about it because now I'm stuck with elevator music. It's your
now
fault.
you broke my heart.
No, it's your fault now. Do you know there really is a pineapple
My heart
man?
is broken.
With the sunglasses on, Maddie. Come on now.
Listen to that bass.
You're terrible.
It's groovy.
Can't take you anywhere. Stop it. Cease,
I just
tell
love
you.
I love you guys. You just
Mike
make me
over
so
there.
happy when I call. So.
Hey.
But,
Listen to those drums.
I think the Pineapple Band might be better.
This song is out of sight. These are some groovy cats.
oh yes, very groovy.
I found a Pineapple Band.
I'm ready to fall asleep right now. So.
Yeah, me too.
I'm over here yawning now. He's trying to put me out. This is elevator music. This is your fault, Gary. You brought this up.
I know. I'm sorry.
See what you
I'm
do?
a meanie. Forgive me. You know.
You brought
I want to
this.
hear the
I'm such a
Pineapple
mean
Band.
person.
I gotta
Such a
find out who
mean
these
person.
guys
It's
are. There really
awful,
is a
you know?
Pineapple Band.
I have voodoo dolls made of me. So.
Yeah, you brought that on
Yeah.
yourself, Gary.
You can buy voodoo dolls made of me and stick pins in me.
Stop
so,
it.
You know?
The smooth jazz.
But yeah, so all right. Well, I know I'm the long goodbye person. I keep hearing that, but I love you both, and seriously, Matt, that is a stipulation. You have to do something really good for Jenny on Valentine's Day.
Oh, okay.
What qualifies as really
All righty.
good?
We'll be thinking of
And
you.
I love Melanie. I love Melanie in Vermont. She is just really a hot, funny person with her.
Whoa,
her
whoa. Sitting on everybody today.
I'm on a love fest right now. I'm on cloud nine, and I'm not doing any drugs either. So,
Good.
You know, I'm just having a real good day. My anxiety's not my depression is gone for the day. So
all good.
I'm just having a real good day, and I just love everybody. I really
I'm
do.
glad. That's awesome.
So
All right. Very good.
So, you know, Melanie doesn't know me or anything, but I really
she knows
like when
you.
she gets on the radio with her lovely fun. Because I don't have a computer or anything, so I can never see a lot of the things that she says. So, but I like some of the stuff I can hear that you guys are laughing at. So
Yes.
and maybe she could be my Vermont Valentine. Because I love Vermont. So.
You hear that, Melanie? You have a request.
I'm just looking for Valentine people. That's all. I'm lonely. I'm a lonely old man.
Oh well. Okay.
You know, I talked to squirrels. Okay, so you know.
All
and
right.
they kind of talk back to me. So.
Oh.
Hey, Melanie's in the chat room
You know?
and she says hugs and kisses to you, Gary.
Well, she also said, "What's up, big
Oh,
boy?"
thank
yeah.
you.
No, that's like,
A
what's
big
up,
Vermont,
big boy?
Yeah, I used to go to Brattleboro, Vermont all the time. So they had the heifers, whatever. She might know about the heifers. They let the heifers run through.
Well, now
Brattleboro,
you're going the wrong. Now you're going the wrong direction.
They're
Gary.
not. No,
like that
they're
word.
real heifers. It's a tradition.
Stop
It's a
it!
tradition of the farmer has these cows.
I'm gonna get sued.
And they run through. They run through Vermont in the spring because they used to bring them down from, back up into the mountains and everything. It's a beautiful thing. You got to go up. There's a lot of food and a lot of fun. So, but I know Vermont and I love Vermont. So, but yeah. All right. Well, I'll let you guys go. I love you both.
All right, we
love you too.
You really make my day, and maybe sometime maybe sometime we'll see each other face to face again. One of those times.
Yeah.
But
well, all right, Gary.
All right.
All right. We love you. Thank you
Okay,
for the
love
call.
you both. Have a great evening.
Thank you. You
And
too.
enjoy a nice meal. I just did. I had my. Yeah, I had the early bird special for the old people, so I'm good.
Well, good. All right, Gary.
Love you guys.
All right, we love you.
And Jenny, keep that music coming. I love it.
I sure will.
See you later.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. That was our friend Gary. And that opens up a line for you, 603-250-6007,
Play that stupid
603-250-6007. We will take a moment here and catch up with everybody in the Facebook live chat. Very busy chat room
You
today.
messed my head up. Now I got that stupid song in my head.
What, the Smooth
I
Jazz
had
Experience?
Angel in there, and you had to play that.
Well, that's Gary's fault.
Elevator.
You got to take that up with him.
Your fault. You did it.
You
Just
acknowledge.
because somebody gives you an idea. If he told you to jump off the bridge, would you jump off the bridge?
Well, only if I was
said the SJ sentence.
Only if that's what I was feeling in the groove.
Oh, stop it.
Let's see. Yes, Melanie La Liberty from the great state of Vermont is in the chat room. Also, New Affirm of the Spark, who I strongly suspect is from Greensboro, North Carolina, joins us and
Just
says,
maybe.
Happy birthday, hashtag Miriam. We say to you from us. Scott Robinson says, when are you going to have the bands from down south? They're all very passionate Facebook fans. Yeah, well, Texas. I mean, that's the South.
Oh,
we got
quite
a lot of bands
yeah.
from Texas.
I'll take anybody from any area. Like we're not area specific. What am I going to say here?
No.
We're not area snobs.
Jason Federson, also known on the morning show as JFed, says, I talked on Skype once. We were talking earlier about Skype.
The Skypey thingy?
Yes.
Yes.
Tony Petrello in the chat room
Mike
says...
taught me that. That's what you call it now.
Yes.
Skypey thingy.
Tony Petrello in the chat says, for some reason there is no picture. Yeah, I guess that's a weird glitch with Facebook recently. I don't think it's the software here. I think it's just Facebook being
It's a Facebook thing because it's happening to not just us, but I've had a few other viewers say the same thing. But when I look at it on my phone, the video stays. I don't know why. It's Facebook. It's free. It's glitchy. There it is.
Speaking of angel, Melanie points out that Lucifer was also an angel.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that was the angel of the song, though.
No.
That was a beautiful love song.
Tony Bolello is in the chat room, of course. He does the production work with Infinity Vein, and he called also at the end there. It was nice to speak with him, as well as Jim and Julie Boland. Let's see, some family members there. Let's see, who else have we got here? So make sure we don't miss anybody. And then,
It looks like Mike from Infinity Vein is still talking to his dog.
Oh, Mike is in the chat room as well. Yes. Let's see. And then there was some discussion of my pants.
Your what? Your pants?
Yeah, there was
your leather pants.
Oh, so when Gary called, so Melanie posted, "Damn, he is constantly challenging your manhood, Matt. You going to take that?" I thought he was hitting on Jenny again.
Oh, Jesus.
And then she said, can you dance for all of us in those leather pants this Friday night?
Right.
It sounds delicious. Delicious.
I think you should go over to the Hop Knot and give us a little spin.
Well, that might be welcome there.
We could hang some pretzels off of you.
Depending on what's happening there at the Hop Knot, our amazing sponsor. Depending on what's happening there that particular evening.
They do have drag nights.
That's true.
Yes, we could bring you on a Sunday.
Well, I would still
participate in the drag.
I would still be male presenting
in your leather pants.
Melanie says,
put a wig on you, little rouge.
Melanie says, man, he totally digs her. If you if you died, Matt, how many days do you think Gary would wait before making a serious move?
Wow! Ouch!
I'm thinking the day after you are covered in dirt.
Stop it! Oh no! Who said that?
Melanie. Who else?
No.
Who else would say that?
I thought you were in Facebook jail for the next couple of days.
Charles Richardson from the great state of Florida and host of the Charles Richardson Show joins us and says, "What's going on, everyone?" Melanie says, "I'm hearing I'm not special. Just one of the many Valentines he is collecting."
Now, he was asking people to be friendly Valentines. We can all have many more than one friend.
She also says, oh, yeah, he is right. We have heifer parades.
Stop it.
I don't know.
You do not. Do you really?
Well, they probably do, actually.
Anything's possible. It's Vermont.
Oh.
And there's fighting words.
Charles says, I'm not special either, except my mama said I was special.
Very special.
Well, your mama's supposed to tell you that.
Mine didn't say I was special.
Melanie says, Jenny's husky voice is making me uncomfortable.
What's wrong with that?
I don't think your voice is husky.
I think she doesn't like my lovely voice.
Oh, I see.
You know, when I'm just loving on you in those black leather pants.
Right. Mike from Queen City Cabinetry, another one of our great sponsors here at WMNH, also joins us in the Facebook live chat.
He makes floating sinks. They're really cool looking. Like, seriously.
Oh, yeah.
If you haven't checked out their work and you're thinking about getting some remodeling done, you got to check them out. They're really, really good.
Melanie says they do have heifer parades, no joke.
I believe you.
And she also says she got her jail time, her Facebook jail time overturned. Ha!
Congratulations.
No yes.
You know, I used to live in a small town in New Hampshire, and every 4th of July they had this contest where they would build like a square and chalk it all out, and each square was like lettered and numbered, and you pick a square, and after everybody picks a square, they bring a goat out, and they let the goat run around, and wherever the goat decides to drop a special package, that person wins money.
And where was this?
In Andover, New Hampshire.
You know,
where the goat goes to poop, you get, if your square is the one you picked, it's money. You win money.
Forgive me for speaking vaguely, but it suddenly occurs to me.
That's true. It's really true.
It suddenly occurs to me why there's a guy from New York who makes all those Green Acres references when he talks about us. I hate to give him any credit at all, but for the first time, I have to say he might actually have a point.
It's a real game. They do it every July 4th.
I'm
not even kidding you about this. It's real.
He might have a point.
Yeah, it's like
the guy from New York.
Poo Poo Bingo.
I won't say his name, but he might have a point.
That's why there's only one goat left in there, you know.
After hearing that, it's hard to argue with him when he refers to us as being from
we got a lot of things here.
Cockalooka County.
It's
and
just one little thing.
He talks about
we have the Highland Fest, which is amazing, Scottish dancing and Scottish dirks, and
we also have what was it that you put the goat in the what was it again? You put the goat in the square or the cow, or what do you put in the square?
You fence off an area and you draw out a grid, and you put alphabet and numbers on the grid, and then everybody goes and picks a square. You buy a square, right? And it's like a 50-50 kind of thing. But you bring the goat in, and you let the goat wander around until it finally decides it needs to go to poo-poos. And when it goes to poo-poos, whichever square it lands in, that person wins money. Yep. You make a bet on where the poo-poos are going to go from the goat. That's how it works.
Oh, God.
Yes.
So that's a real thing.
This is a real thing. This truly does exist. Yes. And oh my God, Melanie just dropped a link in here. There is a strolling of the heifers.
I'm looking at it now.
Real.
That's what they call
Vermont. All right. I think that's a real thing.
The strolling of the heifers.
Wow.
I'm going to go ahead and like that page so I get updates.
Mike Filipina thinks that's disturbing. Is it the goat with the poo-poos that is disturbing, or is it the strolling of the heifers that is disturbing?
See, the thing is, Mike from Queen City Cabinetry, he's originally from Rhode Island. So I think in Rhode Island, it's such a small state. It's basically Providence and Warwick and one or two other cities. So they don't have room for all this stuff.
It's the redheaded stepchild of New England.
They don't have room for goats and cows. And oh my God! Wow,
it is. It's a real thing.
Wow.
If this is going to get a lot of money from this thing too, let me tell you, it's a lot of squares that get bought. People buying more than one square, you know. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Lots of square buying. Everybody counting on that goat to make it to poo-poos on their square.
See, this is the real reason I think that
this is a New Hampshire thing.
That our friend when our friend Kendra L. Saunders moved to New York City, I think this is why.
Well, maybe that's where she got some of her ideas for the aliens.
Maybe.
I am wearing one of her beautifully designed crowns, by the way.
Yes.
A Kendra Saunders original from Half Lucid Jewelry.
Kendra L. Saunders.
Kendra L. Saunders.
Yes.
Excuse me, I left out the L. I'm sorry.
It's important because there is another Kendra Saunders. So.
Yes, but our Kendra Saunders is the correct Kendra Saunders.
I think Charles from the great state of Florida joins us. Hello.
First off, don't make fun of my state, the little redheaded stepchild. Okay, don't do that.
Yes, I can.
Not cool.
Yeah, tough.
And
Suck
for
it
the
up,
papoose,
Buttercup.
How do you spell that, Jenny?
The papoose?
How do you spell that?
The papoose? The papoose are the poo-poo, P-O-O-P, poo-poo, P-O-O-P-P, O-O-P.
Okay.
Poo-poos.
And what happens if the goat lands a really large papoose on the line of two squares?
They'll probably have to split it.
They have to split the papoose?
They have to, yes. And the money. They have to split it. Yep.
That's a really crappy situation. if you
Yeah,
ask me.
it's.
But
Yeah, I heard that.
Oh boy.
Oh God.
Oh.
It's a real thing.
Anyway,
I'm not even making this up. It's
you guys
real.
have a good time. I'll stick to my Super Bowl squares, which is on paper. No gross stuff touches it, except if maybe like barbecue sauce from Wings. That's about it.
No barbecue sauce on the poo-poo.
Oh God.
It'll just smell like barbecue poo-poo.
Oh, okay. I don't even want to think about it. Well, all right, Charles.
Have a good one.
All right, bye-bye. That was our friend Charles Richardson from Florida, and of course, host of the Charles Richardson Show. Mike from Queen City Cabinetry said you can't even have chickens in Rhode Island. You can, however, have a guinea pig.
That's so yeah.
And
can't have a chicken.
They don't have much space. And Scott Robinson says, Matt, the boys and I are going out cow tipping this weekend. Want to come?
Terrible. Don't you dare. That's a terrible thing to do.
It is terrible, but I've also heard it's much more dangerous than people realize because I've heard this from multiple people over the years. People have this idea that cows are these docile creatures and, and that you don't want to tip over a bull because they'll hurt you, but a cow you can tip over and just walk away. But no, I've heard that cows have tempers and they don't take that lightly. And the cow or the heifer will, as we to refer back to the term we were using earlier, will get up and chase you and will hurt you. And that is why, in fact, I've decided that, Bruce, who we're very concerned about, who I don't trust, Bruce from Nashua, if he continues to mess with EZG, not only will he get the horns, but he'll get the heifer.
Yeah, I'm looking up some stuff. It actually says cow tipping is a myth. Cows sleep laying down. A cow that's standing up isn't going to tip over when a puny human pushes on it. And cattle can be dangerous.
That makes sense. New affirm of the Spark in the chat says, we say #Jenny and #Matt Infinity Vein. They rock.
Really, right? They're very good van.
We say that band are the best. Well, very good.
I agree.
Melanie says she has a shirt that says, don't be a salty heifer.
That's cute.
Yes. That is very nice. Very
I
nice.
like that.
Well, we are running out of time on today's program, but I do want to thank everybody. Of course, we want to thank Mike and Jana from Infinity Vein for joining us for the world radio premiere of Angel.
I love getting to do world premiere.
Yes.
Love it.
Absolutely. And of course, in the first hour, we had Jessica Margison and Brandon LeMay. They are housing and affordable housing activists, homeless activists, and so forth. And that was a great discussion as well. Really enjoyed having them on, and I think we learned a lot. Something we didn't get to that I'll try to get to later in the week. Well, actually, I'll leave that aside for now. But we do have a band Friday on Friday's show.
Yes, we do.
Now, how do you say it? Is it Noviak? Or Noviak?
Novacchio, I think.
Oh, okay. And they're going to be here.
But he's going to correct me if I pronounce that wrong. And please, if I did murder that, please correct me. Yes, they will be on Friday. They are a local group. They're going to be sending in some music, and I think they're going to be coming in the studio to have a little chit-chat with you.
Excellent. I look forward to that very much.
And you have a very full week next week, too. I'll tell you that. A lot of great I'm getting to play with all these wonderful musicians, and I am literally having a blast.
Yes.
I get to be that girl. Want to be on the radio? I'm loving this. I'm getting to meet so many people from around the nation, all these incredible independent artists. I can't tell you how much fun I'm having. Have I told you how much fun I'm having?
You've mentioned it, yes.
I am having so much fun.
I'm glad.
Who knew
I'm glad.
booking bands was this fun? I did not.
Yes.
Now I'm addicted.
Yes. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad. Well, like I said, I want to make this show the go-to for unsigned and independent artists.
Absolutely. And getting to be the first to play a song on FM radio is just such a huge treat and a privilege that I think it's wonderful whenever we get a chance to do something like that. And, the more the merrier. I have plenty of room. It's a big year. So if you've got a band out there and you want to be heard on Matt Connaughton Unleashed, come get yourself in the Book of Jen.
We have a call. We'll grab this quickly, and then we got to wrap up. Hi, welcome to Matt Connaughton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hello?
Hello, you're on the air.
Hey, you guys are talking to Infinity Vein today?
Yes, we did.
We did, yes.
Okay, I got to turn up my volume here. I can barely hear anything.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, my buddy Mike Woolsey, he's in the band. I've known him for, oh man, probably going on 20 years now. I knew him when he was in the Binghamton area. And he's had a couple other bands before Infinity Vein, and I got to tell you, this is the best thing that musically he's done to date. I mean, he's really done a fantastic job with this band, and really proud of him, really proud of the whole band. You guys sound phenomenal. I mean, you guys are like pro level. You guys sound awesome.
Cool. Well, I know
really happy it's working out for you guys.
I know they're in the chat room listening. We're about out of time, so we got to go, but I'm sure they appreciate the support, and we appreciate the call.
Hey, no problem. Appreciate you guys, giving them some coverage, and really happy these guys are doing as well as they did. And really glad they're coming along as fast as they are. They're one band that really deserves a break that they got. I mean, they sound fantastic. Right from the bottom to the top, they just sound awesome. And I really hope that they stay together, and keep making the great music that they're making, and can't wait to see where it goes from there.
Oh, yep, they're in the chat room and they say thank you. Yes, absolutely. All right, my friend, thank you for the call. We got to we got to keep moving, but we appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
You got it. All right, bye-bye.
And if you want to check me out, you can go to jencoffey.com, JENNCOFFEY.com, see some of my artwork, my writings, and check me out on the publication The Mighty, where I am proud to be published.
Yes, yes. And if you miss any part of today's show, it will be up in just a little bit at WMNHradio.org. And, of course, my website, mattconnaughton.com. And let's see, it's Wednesday, so I think there's a replay of Granite State of Mind right after us if you're listening live on WMNH 95.3. And, of course, make sure you're back here bright and early, 7 a.m. for the morning show with Peter White. And we'll end it with a little more smooth jazz.
Stop it!
Well,
no!
we only have a minute for something to play out, so it's a quick thing anyway. And it's Gary's fault.
Gary.
We'll talk to y'all a little bit later. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.